All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
I was walking home from school on a cold winter day. Took a shortcut through the woods, and I lost my way. It was getting late, and I was scared and alone. But then a kind old man took my hand and led me home. Now, Mama couldn't see him. Oh, but he was standing there, and I knew in my heart he was the answer to my prayers. Oh, I believe there are angels among us, sent down to us from somewhere up above. They come to you and me in our darkest hours to show us how to live, to teach us how to give, to guide us with the light of love.
And welcome back to the X Zone. And as you know, X Zone Nation, we explore the extraordinary and the transformative. Well, tonight we're honored to have Dr. JOAN of Angels with us, a spiritual luminary, visionary artist, and healer. Through her divine paintings and cosmic wisdom, she guides individuals to awaken and remember their true essence. Prepare for an enlightening conversation that bridges the mystical and the everyday. Joining me now is Dr. JOAN of Angels. And Dr. JOAN, welcome back to the X Zone.
I am really excited to be here. You know, this is my third time.
Well, we love you here. So this won't be the last time. Dr. JOAN, could you share with us and our new listeners that have joined us as our network and affiliates keep growing, your journey and what led you to become a spiritual advisor and visionary artist?
Well, you know, I think I was always on that track. I always felt that I was here for something special. Mm-hmm. And when I was 30, I had an encounter with an angel who showed and revealed to me my life purpose was to heal and inspire many people. But in 2013, I got a special message, which was to paint 33 angels in 30 days. And that download catapulted me into channeling angels, painting angels, feeling them all around me, and changed my life.
You know, your artwork is renowned worldwide for its depiction of celestial beings. What inspires these creations, and how do they serve your mission?
Well, that's a great question, Rob. They're channeled. So, I don't know, the night before I start painting, I lay there and I see all these beautiful faces in front of me, mm-hmm. and then I start painting. You know, I do a prayer, meditation, I connect, and then I just somehow have to paint. It just comes out of me like a calling. And that's how I do the painting. Now, the paintings themselves have extra energy in them. Because they're channeled from the divine, they carry a higher frequency. And people who have them in their homes tell me that it's easy for them to connect. I do an activation. If you take home a piece, we can activate it to align with your frequency and actually to have your frequency go higher to the frequency of the angels. So it really works out well. These pieces become oracle tools.
How do you do it? How do you find the specific frequency that matches the person who has brought this piece of beautiful art into their home to align with the angel's frequency?
Well, you know, it's an intuitive process. And the people who come to me already want or have that connection. And so my job is just to awaken that
I
connection
see.
and to activate it for them, and that's what we do. So I can activate any piece of art that comes from Joan of Angels, and people do feel it. They'll say, "Oh my God, I'm vibrating. I hear it. I can feel it," and that to me is like when I don't sell my art, Rob. The art calls its humans. That's what they told me. They call people to purchase it, to bring it home.
So you are a messenger for the angels who, with your talent as an artist, paints a picture for a specific person who does not know at the time you're doing the painting that you're actually painting a portrait for them, that once it's brought into their home, it's activated.
You have just explained it in a way I've never found the right words to say it. But yes, that's what happens. And the crazy thing is that people used to come to my studio. I'd like wake up in the morning and I know someone's coming and I don't know who they are except their name, right? And I got up one morning and I just had this urge to change the hair color to purple. The woman walks in and I'm taking her around the gallery and she goes, "Oh my God, Joan, how did you know I love purple?" So she just picked the one I don't know, the one I had woken up and was told to paint that morning.
Well, that's
So
because you're a visionary.
these are definitely channeled, and I also do something called soul portraits, which is a commissioned piece where we work together and I tune into the aspects of your particular soul, your journey, your other lives, and we come up with a painting that represents like that best version of yourself.
How would you describe your very first encounter? No, I don't like the word encounter. Your very first meeting of an angel. How did you feel when you saw the angel?
Well, I've had several encounters with angels. When I was a little girl, I would kind of squint my eyes and I would suddenly find myself literally in the painting that was on the wall, which was a beautiful grassy scene. But in my vision, suddenly there were angels walking with me and holding my hand. And I think those were my earliest encounters.
You know, there are many children who talk to their parents about their special friends or their angels, and the parents do not take the child seriously, whereas my wife and I, we have 15 grandchildren, 3 great-grandchildren, and when the children come to us, or our son or daughter will come with her family and say, "All right, tell Papa what you told me." And
Right.
we listen, and they're seeing angels. They're talking to angels. And when a parent takes a negative attitude with a child, especially when it comes to special friends or angels, I would just like to take them and say, listen, just because you cannot see, you cannot hear, does not mean that the child is not seeing something or someone.
Right.
How do you face that dilemma?
Well, I get right in there. I think that you should let your child paint angels and
Ooh,
fairies or
I like
whatever
that.
they see and make an angel notebook
I
or a special friend's notebook and paint what they're seeing and write down the words that they're hearing, because that will go away for you for a certain period of time. When they reach 8 or 10, that kind of disappears for the next period of time where they're sort of becoming, I guess, humans here on the planet.
right.
But when they're older, and it'll come back to them, and then they'll love that notebook.
You know, I saw my first angel when I was 5 or 6. And I remember that as clear today as it did the day that I saw that angel. Talking about angels is my most favorite subject on this show, because I know for a fact angels are real. I've seen one. Where when you talk about UFOs, I'd love to have the ability to say that I believe in UFOs because I've seen one, which I haven't. I want to believe. But when it comes to angels, I don't need proof because I saw one. And I'm sure that there are many times in the lives of listeners where they actually do interact with an angel, but it just doesn't dawn on them at that time that the stranger that appeared from nowhere, or the encounter that you had that you can't explain, or that person who moved you aside as you were going to go off the curb and get hit by a car. I'm sure these things happen all the time. But because we are in such a rushed society, when we're bombarded by news and media 724, 365, we have forgotten that the most simplest things in our life are the most wonderful things.
Yes, and we've forgotten our angel companions.
Exactly. Like, I don't know how many children know about guardian angels. Every child I've ever spoken to say yes, they have a guardian angel. And you're right, as they mature, angels are put aside for other parts and other things in their lives. Just like that song by Peter, Paul, and Mary, Puff the Magic Dragon. You know, as little Johnny Paper was growing up, Puff was put aside. And I think that this is what happens with angels.
You could be right.
Yeah. But like I said, Dr. Joan, I believe in angels. I truly do. And this is why when I had the opportunity of bringing you back on the show, we had to do it. We had to do it because I know that you have stories of people who have told you stories about their encounters with angels. I know that your work is a tool, a communication vessel for people to connect with their angels. And man, you are one busy lady.
I love that. Yes, thank you so much. You know what? Angels keep me busy. That's all I can say. I'm very blessed.
Yes, you are. And I believe we're all blessed, but like I said, we're too busy to look at the most simplistic events in our lives and say, well, wait a minute. How did that happen? Well, when you ask yourself that question, my friends, just think of one word, 5 letters, angel. Dr. Joan of Angels is my very special guest this hour, Exonation. And if you'd like to find out more about Dr. Joan, visit her website. It is www.joanofangels.com. And Dr. Joan and I will be back on the other side of this short break as we continue talking about my favorite subject and topic here on the X Zone, and that is angels. You're listening to the X Zone on the Talkstar Radio Network, Mutual Broadcast Network, the X Zone Broadcast Network, and the anchor radio station of the X Zone Broadcast Network, and that is your hometown radio, Classic 1220 CFAJ here in St. Catharines. And they stream us at www.classic1220.ca. Dr. Joan and I return right after the short break, so don't go away.
I was walking home from school on a cold winter day. Took a shortcut through the woods, and I lost my way. It was getting late, and I was scared and alone. But then a kind old man.
She walks to school with a lunch she packed. Nobody knows what she's holding back. Wearing the same dress she wore yesterday. She has the bruises with a linen and lace. Oh. The teacher wonders, but she doesn't ask. It's It's hard to see the pain behind the mask, bearing the burden of a secret storm. Sometimes she wishes she was never born. Through the wind and the rain, she stands hard as a stone in a world that she can't rise up.
And welcome back, everyone. Dr. Joan of Angels is our special guest. And if you'd like to visit Dr. Joan's website, it's an interesting site. Be prepared to spend some time there. It's www.joanofangels.com. Dr. Joan, how does your background in chiropractic care influence your current spiritual practices?
Oh my God. I'm going to tell you a story. Years ago in my chiropractic office, I didn't talk about angels then. I think I believed in them, but I didn't really talk about them. I had this old couple that used to come to see me. The guy had been a minister, very old, and he had Parkinson's. Now he could barely walk and talk and speak. And his wife is dragging him to all these doctors, including me. And he comes in, and I could feel he's deteriorated. And I put him on my table, and suddenly there's fluttering all around my ears, little wings. There were angels everywhere around me, and this was incredible. Like all this, they were fluttering around me. And they told me that I needed to tell his wife that she needed to let him go, that it was time. And that was so profound, just so you understand, that really my job with my patients, I had a special ability, and I still have this, where if I kind of let my mind go and, ask them how the weather was or whatever, my hands would find where they were in pain. And then it would tell me what that pain could have even been about. And so I think I've always had this special ability. And as I grew older, it became more apparent. And so my chiropractic work really became an outflow of what I really didn't know was my spirituality at the time.
So not only did you mend the body, but you also mend the heart, the soul, the problems that the people were having separate than their body. And I think that's so commendable.
Well, it wasn't anything I set out doing, but I always do that. My job on the planet is to align people's body, mind, and spirit so they have the juice now to do what they came here to do. And so that they can step into those visions that they came here with and become that best version of themselves. I kind of turn them up.
Do you think that this is part of our return mission when we come back to this reality, that the lessons continue?
We come back down here to have those lessons. Listen, we are all on an ascension path, and even though people like you and I are volunteers and we volunteered to come here and
Yes.
do our job here, we also have our personal ascension mission. So we're not trapped, so that we learn how to rise above so that we can leave and go home to our next mission.
You often speak about remembering who we truly are. Could you elaborate on that concept?
I can. Okay, so I believe we're a soul, and that our soul came down here at different times. Some people have been here longer than others.
Right.
Our soul knows the essence of really what we're here to do. And if you came down here as a volunteer, you had a job. Your job might have been to really help lift up humanity and to keeping the light frequency here on the planet, no matter what darkness might have spread over it. So we have encoded in our template, in our body soul template this life too, what our mission is. Like imagine you have a clipboard and it says, "Oh, Rob McConnell, these are the gifts, this is what you're here to do, and these are all the skills that you need to do this job." And then we're born, we have this clipboard we can't see, and then the dark forces start attacking in a lot of ways so that we can be pushed off our path. And our mission is to really remember that this is why we're here and not get lost.
So we're on a mission.
Yes.
What is the ultimate goal of our mission?
Well, there's several things. First of all, it's really for the soul in the end to love, no matter what. Love here, soul love, physical love, all love, and to really step into love. And that is how we return to our Creator. And that's one of the missions. But there's other missions. Our mission is really to remember. That's the biggest thing, to remember why we came down here, what we really wanted to do here, and what our best gifts are. And the other part of it is to remember that we're of the light, because the planet is in a spiritual war right now.
Boy,
dark
is
versus
it ever.
light.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we came down here to hold that light. And you can't hold that light if you don't remember you're a bearer of light.
So would you say that each and every one of us who are here on this planet right now, we are here to be part of this global mission that the members of the Light Army are fighting with or against the members of the Dark Army, and that our mission is to bring back the light and bring back love, peace, harmony to this planet.
Yes, yes. In a way, that is exactly what we are here to do. We're here to hold that light steady. And the more we radiate and become that light bearer, the more we wake up those around us who are in the dark. Because so many are.
There is no doubt whatsoever that these are the most troubling times that this planet, this human race of ours, have seen in a very, very, very long time. I love reading the Bible. I love reading other books on religious philosophy. And when I see what's going on in the world today, and I really hope I don't offend anyone with what I'm about to say, is I look at the book of Revelation, the Antichrist, and the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and I can identify them as I see them. The Antichrist, President Trump. The four horsemen of the apocalypse, you have the leader of Russia, the leader of China, the leader of North Korea, and Elon Musk. How do we, if I am right, how do we fight this battle with enemies who are being supplied the darkest powers available by the amount of money that they're able to pay for this darkness?
That's an amazing question. I see it that this planet has been taken over by what I call the controllers.
Right.
Probably the extraterrestrials, the reptilians, the Anunnaki, whoever you call them. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And us as humans, well, some of them are doing the dirty deeds of the controllers, let's say that.
Okay.
And some of them are holding steady in the light. It's surprising how many people are following the dark path.
Why are they following the dark path and not the light? Why, if I'm outside and I see something that is bright, I will gravitate towards the brightness and stay away from the darkness. And I'm sure that I don't know why anybody would want the darkness. I really don't.
I am smiling because, that tells me you're definitely one of the wisdom keepers here on the planet, and that's why you do the work you do. But we understand that not everyone is at the same vibration. And people have all their lessons. There's young souls. There's souls that don't even have a soul. Or people, what do they call them? NPCs that do not even have a soul. And we have so much media control and so much propaganda out there that is just flooding the airwaves that people have not been taught how to believe their own eyes, their own senses, their own intuition. And all of that leads to a programmed population, more easy to control, more easy to scare. Also, you know, some of this is invisible, the dark, the light, we can't necessarily see it. But I believe, and I've seen evidence of that even when we're born, the dark knows a light bearer has been born. And that may be you or me. And their job is to make sure you never fulfill your destiny. And so what do? They distract you. Wine, women, and song, money, whatever they can distract you with. And many people fall for that.
We've got about a minute before I have to go to my break, Dr. Joan. But in your opinion, and the angels that you communicate with, how can we turn this around? How can we bring everyone to the light? How can we be part of the solution instead of part of the problem? How can we do this? Or is it too late?
Oh, it's not too late, Rob. Each and every one of you listening to this show right now, you know what? When we come back, I'll teach you all how to fluff your wings and how to feel the presence of the angels so that you can feel the presence of light. Because when you start to work with this light and you understand it, you can positively impact hundreds of thousands of people around you. A few to 1,000 or 100,000, honestly. It's all about raising your vibrational frequency. We can all do it right from this show.
Well, let's do that. In fact, the main purpose of my show that has been on air for 35 years plus is to make the change in one person's life, to bring that person back to a reality that is in the light, and to help them leave their lifetime or the life that they've led so far away from the dark. Dr. Joan and I will be back on the other side of this break, Exo Nation, and if you'd like to find out more about my guest, Dr. Joan of Angels, please visit her website, joanofangels.com. I'm Rob McConnell, this is the X-Zone, and you're listening to us on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, Talkstar Radio Network, Mutual Broadcast Network, and on our #1 radio station that we're proud to be members of, your hometown radio, Classic 1220, CFAJ AM, and they stream us at classic1220.ca. Dr. Joan and I return. Don't go away.
Bearing the burden of a secret storm. Sometimes she wishes she was never born. Through the wind. Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay. There's always some reason to feel not good enough, and it's hard at the end of the day. I need some distraction. Oh, beautiful release. Memories seep through my veins. Let me be empty. Oh, weightless, and maybe I'll find some peace tonight. In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from this dark, cold hotel room, and the endlessness that you fear. You are profound.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the X-Zone. I am Rob McConnell, coming to you from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. And you're listening to us on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, Talkstar Radio Network, Mutual Broadcast Network, and on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, CFAJ AM, that you can listen to in your car, your office, your home, on the beach using a portable radio, if anybody still uses those little things. And because CFAJ goes right through the province of Ontario, the northern tiers of the state of New York, and Pennsylvania. Once again, you can stream us on Classic 1220 CFAJ by going to www.classic1220.ca. Dr. Joan of Angels is my special guest, and we're talking about angels amongst other things this hour. And if you'd like to find out more about Joan of Angels, that's her website, www.joanofangels.com. All right, Dr. Joan, take it away.
I'm just so happy to be here. Love your energy, Rob.
Oh,
Okay,
thank you. Thank you.
let's flip our wings.
All right, I'm
okay?
fluffing my wing.
Well, you don't even know. Wait.
Oh,
Okay, we're going to do this together.
oh, okay.
I want everyone to take a deep breath in
Okay.
and let it all out and place your feet on the ground right in
Right.
front of you.
Okay.
And I want you to start to send your roots down to the center of the earth. So send them down,
Okay.
down. And then we're going to send our antennas all the way up to the heavens.
Alrighty.
And so you can kind of feel that we're anchored in from the heavens down through the center of the earth, right? And now I want you to start, we're going to do this quickly, but I
Okay.
want you to sort of, so I have a question, a rhetorical question. Does everyone know that your scapular is also referred to as wings? Isn't that interesting?
Your shoulder blades, right?
Your shoulder blades are also known as wings. And so I want you to start to bring those shoulder blades or those wings of yours back.
Okay.
So rotate, bring them back and wake them up,
All right, I'm doing
Wake
that
up.
right now.
right? And bring your shoulders back. You start to wake up those wings of yours. And now let's just ask that our angels, our guardian angels, no, it's Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael coming in behind you. And what they're about to do, Ron, is starting to take each wing, each feather, and oil it and clean it and stretch them out to their full strength, their full size, because they have been hidden for centuries, hidden in the dust and in the cobwebs, because it wasn't safe to be an angelic being all those years, to have any of these magical powers. And they were programmed people when they found light people like us to attack. And so these wings have been grimed and muddied all over. So I want you to just feel how it feels to have those wings cleared, to have the oil and the grime removed from them so that they can pop up. So my question to you is, what color are your wings, Rob?
White.
And how large are they?
Very large.
Bigger than the ceiling? Do they go like they're huge?
Yes.
Pure white, or do you have any tinges of color?
No, I can't see any tinges of color. All I see is a glowing white.
Right. So if we weren't here on the show, I'd say, well, stand up and walk around for a minute and feel what it would feel like to walk around with these wings.
Well, hold
Because-
on and I'll actually do it.
Okay.
All right.
All right, you go for it. All of you out there, do it with them.
Yeah, I've got my headphones are on Bluetooth, so I can actually walk around the studio, which I'm doing right now. My producer, Craig, in Master Control, is doing the same thing.
Oh, I'd like to see a video of this.
And it feels wonderful. It feels like I haven't felt like this before.
Yeah, so imagine now that as you walk around, let's say you go into Starbucks and the frequency is low, but man, you have those two angels with you. Your wings are sky high. Believe me, people will feel that. So, I say wings up when we go out in the world, because that raises our light. People won't understand what happened, but they'll know that there's a resonance. And that changes the frequency and the vibrations around you.
And that really works because I felt the difference. It actually felt as if my stiff ligaments that attach the scapula to the rest of your your skeletal frame were kind of getting massaged and oiled.
That's so cute, because I do on a longer meditation, I'll take you to the angel recovery zone. And there you have all the angels like oiling you and fluffing up your feathers and wings and reminding you, removing any of the fear that we've held from being as powerful as we are.
Tell me, Dr. Joan, are the angels of yesteryear the ETs of today?
Well, angels and ETs go hand in hand,
They do.
and they're from the same dimensional realms.
Okay.
And, and I do believe, for instance, the Arcturians, some of them are angelic. So you can be both. You can be an Arcturian and angelic. We have many different lifetimes. And then there are those Sumerian tablets where the Anunnaki had wings.
That's
So-
right. As well as, I believe, the Elohim that are talked about in the Bible, they also had wings. And then the
Yeah.
Bible talks about angels. So, there's more to this than myth. We're not making this up. Angels have been acknowledged throughout history by some of the great masters. Look at the ceiling in the Vatican. Look at the beautiful paintings by Michelangelo.
Right?
Like I was saying before, the simplicity of our life is being dampered by the world around us, the amount of information that we all are subjected to, the Bluetooth, the 5G, the microwaves, and so on, where our bodies are just being inundated. And this dumbs us down, but by following some simple exercises like the one that Dr. Joan did with us just a few minutes ago, I could feel the difference. I know that may sound strange to you people out there, but it's not. Try it. All you need to do is try it. Seeing is believing.
I also have a service that I offer called a wing fluffing session. So you guys can have a private one-on-one session as well. People do love those. But I'd love to hear everyone's comments. So if you practice this with Rob and I, why don't you comment back to Rob?
And I'll send you their messages to you. And, we'll have you back on and we'll discuss. Maybe we'll bring a couple of the people who went through the exercise with us on the show to tell us about it in their own words.
Ooh, I like that.
Me too. But let me ask you this, Doctor. For those new to spiritual awakening who may be just learning about it this very night, as you and I are talking about it, what practices do you recommend for them to begin their journey with?
That is so interesting because I just did a series of reels on my Instagram. And I've been teaching people how to ground. The best way to get through anxiety right now is to ground and learn these morning rituals. So if you want to send me an email, joan@joanofangels.com, and say morning rituals or grounding, heard you on the X show, then just, I heard you with Rob, then I'll send that to you.
That's fantastic. That is truly fantastic. How do you assist individuals in overcoming blocks that hinder them and their connections to the higher selves?
That's so cute. So when you said that, a little spiritual joke came in my mind.
Okay.
It was like I was seeing a wheelbarrow, and the wheelbarrow is filled with all that crap, the BS of our life, right? And I always tell people you can't take that wheelbarrow to heaven. It won't go. It's too heavy. So it doesn't move. But it's just that. It's just crap. And yesterday was the 7/7, which launches us into a new energy. And we are in a new energy. And so I do work with people one-on-one to let go of what doesn't serve them. And it's far easier than you think, but you have to take the first step. And you can't take that with you. If you want to have a positive life, then you have to let all that stuff go because it just is like having heavy weights around you.
Just have to get rid of the old luggage.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. It smells and it's old and it's crusty and it doesn't serve you because it's about leaving the heavy stuff behind now and letting yourself like really feel into your greatest vision of who you really are and all that you've wanted to do.
Your work integrates ancient wisdoms with galactic insights, which I love. How do you harmonize these realms in your teachings?
Well, Lord knows how I do it. You know, half the time, honestly, I don't even know what I know until I say it. And that's because I channeled a lot of what I say.
Right.
But, like I took almost 200 people to Egypt 2 summers ago.
Oh, how was that?
Oh my God, it was amazing. And if I had enough people who want to go, I would form another tour. It was amazing because you're there among the hieroglyphs and you're there among these statues of these beings that are like 50 feet tall. And you can feel their resonance and you can see their messages in the hieroglyphs. It's very profound. Like our history is filled with spirituality. You go to the pyramids, and for thousands of years, they were using electromagnetic frequencies and sound wave frequencies. That's such an advanced civilization that they controlled this with their mind.
Doctor, I hate to do this to you. I really hate interrupting a guest. But we do have to take our breaks, our final break for tonight. So please stand by. Dr. Joan of Angels is our very special guest. www.joanofangels.com. When we come back, we're going to be wrapping up this hour with the good doctor, continuing our talk about angels. And we would like to have you send us an email to xzone@xzoneradiotv.com and tell us about your experience when we did the wing fluffing, as well as any angelic experiences that you've had. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
My veins, let me be empty. There'll be no strings to bind your hands, not if my love can find your heart.
Exonation, Dr. Joan of Angels is our special guest, www.joanofangels.com. First of all, Joan, thank you very much for being with us. Always a great pleasure having you with us and sharing your wealth of information and wisdom. And I apologize for cutting you off before we went to this break, but if you could please proceed, I would much appreciate it.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
Okay, well, let me ask you another question. How's that work?
Okay.
Okay. In your view, are we entering into a new era of consciousness? And if so, how can our listeners prepare for this shift?
Wow, that is an even better question. You know what? We're on an ascension timeline. It doesn't even matter what the dark does because they're also on their own timeline, but by 2030, the planet will be on this ascension timeline. And there's many, I don't know if you know Ishmael Perez or other people like him, who say that the solar flash is going to happen in the next year or two, which will completely wake us up to the new reality. So I think what we're seeing is the end of a cycle and the beginning and the dawning of the new earth and that which we came here to see. So I think we're in the most exciting times, Rob.
In your opinion, Dr. Joan, what are some of the common misconceptions about spiritual awakening that you'd like to address?
Well, that's so funny because someone, wrote to me the other day because I have some reels about spiritual awakening on my Instagram. And she wrote and said, well, how do you know it's just like not a midlife crisis? Or, right, a midlife crisis or an anxiety attack. And, I think the keys are really if you find yourself not liking the people you used to like, new people, new friends, like breaking old habits. Or if you find yourself hearing songs on the radio and suddenly hearing the words and they mean something to you.
Yeah.
Or special numbers like 1111 or 333, 666, and seeing them flashing. Or you might actually be paying attention to your intuition suddenly, more so than before. Or realizing that you're getting these interesting messages that you hadn't had before. So when you have this new feeling, that is a spiritual awakening beginning. And it could be overwhelming to some people or scary, and especially to your friends and family.
With all the people that you interact with, have any of the people talked about their dreams and a shift in the type of dreams that they're having?
Well, some of the younger people that I work with are having dreams of anxiety, really fearful.
Really?
Yeah. But I think people like you and me, who are more tapped in, have dreams that like something big is coming. Something big is coming. And it might be an explosion of energy that unfolds in the highest potentials. So there's that happening.
Do you believe that everyone has the capacity to receive messages from higher dimensions, Doctor?
Yes, they do. They have the ability, a capacity to, but number one, some people are very fearful, Rob. And some people are too busy and they're too enmeshed in this material world to pay attention.
It seems that old saying, stop to smell the roses has never been more important than it is these days, because when you stop and ground yourself like you taught us how to do earlier this afternoon, it's wonderful. And I don't know what that noise was. It kind of threw me off, so I'm sorry.
That was my alarm.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. So let me ask you a different question. Let's get on to a different question. What challenges have you faced on your spiritual path, and how have you, Dr. Joan of Angels, overcome them?
Well, that is a great question because I still overcome them. All right. It's not been an easy path stepping into a kind of global energy like Joan of Angels. Like there's Joan of Arc, there's Joan of Angels. And I was given that name because I have a big mission. And so my big mission is to heal and inspire and uplift millions of people to remember why they're here and raise their light. It's an easy mission. It excites me every single day. However, there are dark days, Rob, where I feel like the last year I felt like no one saw me. I felt like
Really?
I had become visible. And I'm becoming visible again, but I was in a year of recalibration, and so I was in a cocoon. But to me, it felt like I was kind of isolated. So I had to really dig deep and believe in myself.
But couldn't the angels have helped you?
I think sometimes we have to go through our own dark night of the soul. We have to they call it a come to Jesus moment.
Right.
I needed a come to Jesus moment. I really needed to let go of things that weren't working, to embrace things that were, and remember this vision I had at 30 and feel into whether it was still viable, and am I still aligned? Show me more signs. All the while rewriting my last book, The Miracle Makers Club, Manifest Miracles Now. So it was great. It was great because my guides have a sense of humor.
How do they have a sense of humor?
Well, here I am going through my dark night of the soul.
Right.
But I had to rewrite this book.
Oh, got you. I
And
understand now, yeah.
I'm rewriting the book and I'm reading the practices that I taught when I first wrote it on stepping into miracles, And it changed my whole everything. It's how I moved myself out of that dark night of the soul. In fact, it's a great book.
How did your family and friends react when you went from Dr. Joan, the chiropractor artist, to Dr. Joan of Angels?
Oh, you probably want to hear about the time my daughter and I were in a really trendy shop in Santa Monica shopping. And I start chatting to this nice couple, and they ask me for my card, and I hand them my Joan of Angels card. And my daughter looks over at me, and she kind of does this thing of zipping your lip, a sign over my lip.
Oh, yes. I get that from my kids
She
once in a while.
whispers in
Yeah.
my ear, "Mom, how could you?" That tells you all you need to know, Rob.
Unreal.
Okay.
But does your daughter now understand the importance of the mission that her mom is on? And how many lives that her mom touches each and every day, whether it's on my show or another show or somebody who reads one of your books or looks at one of your paintings?
You know, my son realizes it because he's come with me to several shows.
I see.
So he helped me at my booth last year at the Disclosure Festival and the Sedona Ascension Retreat, and he actually told his sister that you will not believe it. All the people who know Mom and who love her, he said they kept coming up all day. They love her. My daughter hasn't had that experience yet, but I will say that she recently asked me what it means when she sees 1111.
Ah,
So she's going to awaken slower.
the eyes are opening on the unbelievers.
Yep.
Finally, my final question for you, Dr. Joan, is what message would you like to leave our audience tonight?
Oh, thank you. So everyone, just remember something. These are the times for which we were born. You were born for this. There is nothing that you cannot handle. And during these times, there's millions of us remembering now that it's our time, and remembering that we carry the light, and that we have wings, and that we are angelic, extraterrestrial angelics. We have that extra special energies. And so you're being asked right now to feel into who you are. Feel into what your best gifts are. Feel into why in the world you were chosen to come down here to be in the most grand adventure of planet Earth that's about to unfold for all of us. So remember, you were born for this.
What is your vision of the future, Doctor?
Oh, I think it may be a glorious future. I actually think that we're going to be stepping into a new energetic where there'll be more abundance, more prosperity for all. There'll be major medical advances, the med beds and some other technology that's been hidden from us. I do believe we're going to experience free energy at some point. The return of like the Tesla energies that are all around us and were in the buildings that were built long ago.
Excuse me. You were talking about your trip to Egypt and the tour you took over. What was your most memorable moment from that tour?
Wow. You know, it's crazy. It was actually the Temple of Luxor. We had a dinner there at night, and our group was the only group there. And walking among these statues that are like, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 feet high, and realizing that they felt alive. And I felt like I had returned home. I was walking among a realm that I knew. And that was extremely powerful. And touching the hieroglyphs, there's energy on those walls and in that writing, just to touch it. So I felt the profoundness of that.
Wow, this hour has gone by so fast, Dr. Joan. I've got about a minute before I have to say so long. What is in your future? What are you going to be doing in the months and weeks and years to come?
Well, you know, right now I am creating a series of teachings for people and offering a coaching program called Purpose, Passion, Power, or Power, Purpose, Passion, of teaching people how to turn on their light, to turn on that, what I call miracle mastery switch, or that energetic switch that we all have. So I think I'm going to continue to do that, and I'm hoping to speak around the world, speak to audiences everywhere to teach them how to step into the miraculous. That's what I'm going to do.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Dr. Joan of Angels, for sharing your profound insights and experiences with us here tonight. And for those interested in exploring the work of Dr. Joan, her teachings, or seeking guidance, visit her website of joanofangels.com. Well, that's it for tonight, Exo Nation. I will be back tomorrow night as once again we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X Zone. And my producer just told me that, no, Rob, we're not going to be here tomorrow night because tomorrow night is Saturday night. So I'll be back Monday night at 10 o'clock as once again we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And I want to thank our guest this hour, Dr. JOAN of Angels, for sharing with us and for teaching us. And once again, Exo Nation, I believe in angels because I've seen one angel. And seeing is believing. And I hope that in your heart of hearts, you'll realize that you too have had an experience with an angel. Just think about it. Send me an email, Exxon at Exxon Radio TV, sharing your experiences with angels. So until Monday night, always remember to keep your eyes to the sky and your heart to the light. Have a great weekend, everyone.